In the face of events that threaten to overwhelm our lives, storytelling gives us a way of reclaiming ourselves and reaffirming our connections with other people, those who listen to our stories and by doing so bear witness with us. That's life. Indeed, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, and the each one out there, I am Mithun Upadhyay and I welcome you again to the very special Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories brought to you by ETH for endless stories of life. And one such life is with us at Cutting Chai. Well, a global leader in the IT services industry with over 25 years of successful track record in creating and transforming organizations. She has a performance history of picking up organizations and driving them to newer heights by drawing up strategy plan and ensuring execution. Just not that. A growth evangelist, she thrives under challenge and creates value for organizations by adopting effective strategy and synergy. She has co-founded the Theatre Banner Ventures, which has successfully staged multiples of English plays in Bengaluru and elsewhere too. She is an amateur stage actor herself. That gives me a thought to talk more about that. A mother of a teenage daughter, she loves to balance her time between her professional responsibilities, her family, and her passion. She's very candid and energetic and extremely fun to work with. We're very delighted to welcome here at Cutting Chai Stories none other than Managing Director, Masrak Bangalore and Masrak Remote Working Campuses, India, Egypt, and Pakistan. Very special Maua Sen Gupta at Cutting Chai Stories. Hello and welcome to Cutting Chai Stories.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Just that stress on 25 years made me feel old. Other than that, that was fantastic.
Well, as they say, the number is only a number, and we can actually cut it short in the other way. But because you spoke about 25 years, you yourself kind of reiterated the number. I'm gonna straight away go back to the past.
Okay.
Okay, your early days, your early life, your days in school and college. How are they?
Well, when I look back now, it was fantastic. I grew up in Kolkata. Though I wasn't born in Kolkata, I grew up in Kolkata, a family of two brothers and one sister.
Wow.
Fabulous dad, fabulous mom, who are now still in Kolkata. So lovely memories of school and college. And anybody who knows about Kolkata, Jadavpur University in Kolkata is known for anything but studies. So when I look back to my college days, just couldn't have been anything better. It was just fantastic. It was fun with capital F.
Yes, I can so get it. And while you speak about it, you're actually smiling and glowing about your days in Kolkata. Those memories are the best memories of lifetime. And that's why the next question. A lot of people say that your network, now I'm talking about network from, school days to college days and early life as a professional, your network is your net worth. What are your views on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely true. It has always been true, but it's so true now because we are a very, very connected world thanks to social media, this, that. Regular media has been a lot more active than it was 25 years back. So
True.
it is, and see the gap or the difference between the professional network and the personal network, that is also merging. Many a times we connect with this old school friend who can then help us with something at work, or we can just, even if it's not directly helping, you can get it ratified. I believe in it. Do I do it a lot? I try to, but given everything, I feel I could do it more, or I should do it more. I'm also a homebody. Outside of office, I'm typically home because, as I said, still a teenage daughter, so I need to stay at home. But I strongly believe in networking, and only thing I practice, while as I said, I could do a lot more, is that I think networking at the time of when you need something is not the right thing. And not just it's not the right thing, it actually backfires.
True, true.
So you need to do it on a regular basis. And I also think that networking is also very personalized. I mean, because I don't hang out or go out for evening parties a lot, people expect that from me. People don't expect that, okay, just because I haven't called somebody for a drink or a coffee on a regular basis, I'm not networking with them or I'm not connected with them. So I feel that it's very personalized, whatever, however you want to position yourself. The rest of the world sees it like that. But yes, absolutely cannot talk enough about networking. Absolutely.
I'm so happy to hear this one thought you mentioned, that networking shouldn't be at last minute. It should be all
Absolutely.
around. It should be a connection of a circle that's revolving and it's coming in time and going, but not when you want it at the most. That is with the bold letter that I'm going to highlight on the show as well. Uh, what's the best personal advice or professional advice you have received ever, and who gave it to you?
Okay, I'm not telling you who gave it to me, but
Okay.
I'll tell
Okay.
you what is this advice. And this is something I use a lot on my team as well. See, I am a type A personality. I mean, it comes out very clearly. Huh? And I always had a lot of, I would say pride, but yeah, sort of, on my IQ. So
Wow.
EQ was not something that was mine for a long time. And this is, I'm talking about, say, about 12 years back. I was a VP in one of the Bangalore-based companies, and something happened. Okay, let me get into a little more detail.
Yeah.
So I was working very closely with the CEO, though I was not reporting to him directly. There was a layer in between, and both of us, both the CEO and myself, we kind of figured that no, we work better together. So we continued that way. And what had happened? So there was a high potential group, and this high potential group, of course, I was there. I mean, goes without saying. So, but as it happened, as soon as right before the hyper group was supposed to be announced, the CEO left. And guess what? The first name that came out of that list was mine. And
Wow.
I was livid that, hey, how can I not be a high potential? And I went and talked to somebody who said, you know what? I will give you one career advice. Jawaharlal Nehru's become the prime minister. Vallabhbhai Patel doesn't. Patel was all about IQ. Nehru is all about EQ. So you have become a VP pretty early on. You want to go up the ladder from here, focus on your EQ.
Absolutely.
I have not forgotten that since then. I'm not telling you the name because it's not somebody that, I mean, I don't expect that I would take his advice that seriously, but this one advice, and he said it in such a nice way that it stayed with me. It still is with me. And now also when I see people working with me who are all about IQ, I keep telling them this story. So absolutely the best career advice I've got from a very, unexpected source.
Well, who gave it to you? Well, that is a he. That's for sure. That's
That's
from
a,
you.
yeah, because
Yeah.
see, in career, especially 12 years back, we used to meet mostly he's.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. But I like how you actually spoke about IQ and UQ, now EQ. Now, these two different things is very, very important, especially in current generation. And understanding what is IQ and EQ, it takes a thought, but if you understand it, I'm telling you, you will go far in where you have to go. With that thought, all have 3 a.m. friends. They call it 5 a.m. friends, 1 a.m. friends. But who is your friendly ear? Someone who listens to you without judging you at all.
That has changed over the years. And I think for everybody that changes over the year. And when I say friend, see, for me growing up, you talked about, started off with my childhood. For me growing up, it was my dad. And
Wow.
I cannot tell you what all I have discussed with him. He was always there and absolutely no judgment. I mean, talk about blind. he was that. So that's how I grew up. How it helped me, I think it gave me a lot more confidence that I can, and it's not always right. I mean, I always felt I cannot go wrong.
True.
I can do everything. Those were all because of him always giving me that friendly ear. And especially it helps when it is your dad, because that's doubly, I mean, it's more reassuring. Thereafter, when I left home and went abroad, I was very lucky to have quite a few friends who I'm still in touch with, no matter what. And you're single, you're alone, you do a lot of stupid stuff, and you need friends to talk to them. And doesn't matter what time of the day or night, these 2 or 3 friends that I've had in when I was living in Montreal and US, it was just, I can't tell you how reassuring, how confidence building those friends were.
Right, right.
For me, I have shifted back to India. So yes, while I do chat with them quite a lot, but still it's not, you are far removed. And fortunately found a guy who's now, I mean, I know it's very boring, but right now it's my husband. Doesn't matter what, I mean, is it as no judgment as my dad? No, but it is, I would say he is that friend who I can discuss anything, anytime. Wee bit of more judgment than daddy, but that's what it is. Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear the 3 phases of your life and 3 people. First, your superhero, your dad. Then, of course, these 3 friends when you were far, far away from India, homeland, in US, and you got the right set of friends. And of course, now it's your better half, your life partner. Well, mantra, life mantra, success. These are very catchy words to the current generation. And back in the days, I don't think so. There was any mantra for success. But from 90s to 21st century now, I'm sure you've seen the growth line. What is your mantra for success, if there is a mantra for success that you aptly applying?
See, the thing is, you hit the nail on its head. I honestly never did. First of all, I'll say I mean, I'm not being modest, but I don't think I'm successful. There are many people who are far, far more successful than I am. But yeah, am I comfortable with where I am? Yes, I am comfortable with where I am. But the thing is, when I look back, I never really had a success mantra as I was growing up. But when I look back, I do see a pattern.
Right.
And if I have to nail that, okay, what all are the reasons that I am where I am, good, bad, ugly, is I would say that one is I never planned ahead. Never,
Right.
ever. I mean, but I just focused on immediate success in the sense that, okay, if I have an exam tomorrow, I have to do
Right.
well in it. I never thought that, okay,
Right.
what will happen when I go up, finish my studies? Am I going to Harvard or MIT? Like today's kids are all about futuristic thinking.
True.
I never, ever did that. So it was only immediate success that I focused on and enjoyed my life. Later on, also, what I've seen is most of my decisions that I've taken, they're more emotional, are more, I won't say emotional so much, I would say it's more gut based. For example, when I was just growing up in a job, I quit my job, went to US to do my MBA because it seemed that that's the right thing. Finished my MBA. Instead of looking for a job in US, which is what most normal people do, when I was vacationing in Montreal, I loved it. I thought, okay, I'm not looking for a job in US. I will go to Montreal, without knowing that without French, you can't really do much.
True.
But I just got lucky and I landed myself a job in Royal Bank. And I still say those 9 years, 8.5, 9 years in Royal Bank, that has been the founding stone of my career, my friends, friendship, this good middle of the night friends that I talked about, all were my colleagues. So then suddenly when I was going up, growing in Royal Bank and very happy, I decided that I need to come back and get married to this guy who was my boyfriend then. So I just dropped everything, sold my house, came back and started again from here. Now, most of it, when you look at it from whether it was the right thing or whether it was at that point, everybody would have advised otherwise. But again, if I think about when I came back to India, it hasn't really done me worse. I mean, I have gone places. I have gone, I mean, I've changed my jobs, but at the same time, I think I am in a fairly comfortable position, but none of it is planned. None of it is planned. Longer than 3 months, I would say.
As you speak of this, I connect to this very nice quote that trifles make perfection. Perfection is no trifle. It's about every single day. You learn, you learn, you learn, and you learn. That's the whole pattern. Uh,
And so if you don't plan much, the chances or the shock of failure is much less. I see
Absolutely.
as I keep telling about my 14-year-old, she is planning her entire life. She knows what she wants to do. Now, I'm sure not everything will happen. When
Absolutely.
they fail, I hope and pray that they have
Bless
the
you.
courage and guts and blessings and love people around uh, to pull her out of that. So the advantage of not planning is no shock.
I think it comes down to the line that, you know what, tolerance to failure is way higher if you're not planned.
Absolutely.
And there is
Absolutely.
no tolerance if you plan. Expectations, disappointment, it's the way it works.
Yeah.
Last two questions before I go to the next segment. Pandemic, COVID-19, while we're still getting out of it, what are some of the most positive outcomes from pandemic that maybe you received over the last 18 months?
Oh. First thing is the time to spend with family. I won't say really spend because we all still work 12 hours a day, but at least you are there when the kid is, say, you can have your lunch together or
Right.
you're around when she needs. So to me, that was fabulous because, and we also traveled a lot between me and my husband. We both used to travel a lot. So this continuous period of family time, I think that's a fantastic thing. Yes, it ends up some days I feel like throwing a few of them out of the house, but then most days I absolutely love it. And the second thing that I think has been very good for me is, as you know, I mean, you read out that I'm passionate about theater. See, the time that we got for theater was much more because there was some leisure time when you can actually, because in Bangalore, we waste so much time just traveling back and forth. All
True.
of that was gone. So the focus on the number of, yes, we don't have we haven't had any performance in the last 2 years because of pandemic, but we are ready with two or three performances, three productions, which as soon as the auditoriums open up to full, we
Wow.
are planning to start from December onwards. So
Wow.
big positive from lockdown.
Now, if you have any character for a male need, I'm one call away.
Please, you're
Okay.
in Bangalore,
Um,
you're close by, I'll call
yes.
you.
Just one call away. One call away. I've done so many years of theaters. I would love to go back on stage for sure. Uh,
Or
You covered my last question. In fact, my question was about your career as a like towards stage acting, and I know the amount of relief that it gets you. It takes you away. It's your own private time, and I think every individual should have their own time
yeah,
away from family, responsibilities, work. The you time to you is at most very important, especially with the speed that the world is moving. So, with that, I'm going to jump into the very interesting round. I call it this or that. It's a rapid fire, out of syllabus, but this is what we are here for, cutting chai. Now, in this two options, you just choose one. That's about it. We're making it very easy for you, Mala, okay? So, let's start this right now. Cutting chai, this or that, hard work or smart work,
smart work.
Bangalore or Kolkata,
Bangalore.
sweet tooth or spicy,
Sweet tooth.
work from home or work from office,
Work from office.
Bangalore traffic or Bangalore weather,
Bangalore weather.
happiness or excitement,
Happiness.
get together with friends or office colleagues.
Both. Can I say? Okay. Office colleagues.
There are a couple of them from office right now on the show right
No,
now.
no, no. There is one, but then see, for me, most of my friends, colleagues are my friends, or vice
you
versa.
you spoke about that, the professional and the personal networking about. Perfect. Okay, meditation or running?
Neither. I don't do either.
Wow, that's a good question. Pani puri or fuchka?
Fuchka.
Red wine or white wine?
White wine.
Margarita or sangria?
Margarita.
Intelligent or funny?
Intelligent.
Shah Rukh Khan or Amir Khan?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Any day. Photos or videos?
Photos.
Branded or generic?
Branded.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Just a chai or cutting chai with Mithun Upadhyay?
Oh, any day cutting chai with Nitin Upadhyay.
Yeah, I just transformed you from having a chai in your normal cup to cutting chai with Mithun on a fantastic Thursday evening. And that's exactly why we say this. And I always like to say this, that stories and their undulations are the prophets of any life. You get inspired, you hear them, and you then go and achieve more. A big thank you to Mahua Sen Gupta for joining us here at the most absolute her with Cutting Chai Stories. My name is Mithun Upadhyay. Thank you for joining us in the Economic Times.
Thank you.
Cutting Chai Stories brought to you by ETH. Truly, truly, what you deserve is here. Catch us for the next episode. Till then, smile, stay safe, and do whatever you want.